Hello, Sumber here. It is turn number 34 of my all Warhammer Nations game of Dominions 5. I'm playing as the Orcs and Goblins, the Greenskins, more specifically the Bone Nose tribes, the kind of savage Orcs and Forest Goblins. Let's crack on. This will be probably quite a weird turn, to be honest. There's a weird battle in it. So we see that the Tomb Kings have picked up another throne. I think they're definitely in second place power-wise now. Maybe it's the dwarfs though. We've got a dire portent. This is very significant for the game state. The Dark Elves, while they are economically ruined and in a terrible position and being chomped by me and by Khorne as well now, I think, they have put up Burden of Time, which means that populations decrease, incomes greatly decreased, and units constantly age. So if you have things that are old age already, they very quickly die, and if you have things that are young, they become old aged rather quickly. Now, for Orcs and Goblins, this actually isn't that much of a problem because Orcs and Goblins, as far as I know, don't die of old age, and so they have very, very low starting ages because they just die in combat, and very, very old max ages in Dominion's terms. So they're not really threatened by being old, but it does wreck income, kill population, and it will kill our Golden Order adepts off as well, who are very important to the nation. So not super keen on that. It will also kill our Blood Hunters, our Gone Amazons. And everyone else is going to be really mad about it. Burden of Time is a very severe, like, game warping global to go up. So the way to get rid of that is basically to kill Nagaron's god or to kill Nagarond. And so various people have messaged me going, "Are you going to kill Nagarond?" And I have agreed with Khorne that they are going to take over the siege on the capital because I want to go and knock over the other fort that Nagarond has and take those provinces over. And we want to get rid of Burden of Time. Burden of Time is just annoying. It's kind of just like a screw you from someone who's leaving the game, basically, is the way I would look at it. It's not massively advantageous. The Dark Elves don't really suffer from it because of their high max ages. Neither do we, but and they don't suffer it for it economically because their economy is already in shambles. I don't think they have any income anymore because all their forts are sieged. Anyway, we do some more Corpsmen. We don't find any magic sites. We get a few slaves. In fact, two blood hunters capturing 14 blood slaves is very nice. So we're actually getting some good blood income now. There's a battle in Bretonia that we witness, which is a weird one. I think this is the Bretonian player basically just kind of giving up at this point, but Tancred II, the Duke of Kelleness, or Canelles, he is sending a bunch of rubbish infantry against extremely hardened, nasty ogres. That goes exactly how you would expect. We take over Sodden Merc. I don't remember who we were taking it from, probably Slanesh. No resistance. Battle in Relothia. This is us attacking Nagarond at their fort. So this is Wild Grimdreg. Just province defense, which is about what you would expect, really. So we should fairly easily chomp up that province defense. Lose bits and pieces, but that's fine. Then we've got a battle in Utivania. This is Slanesh attacking us. This is their attempt to attack us again with the Orc War Boss. This time running into much more province defense, and there's no chariots to accidentally trample my own forces. So while he's probably going to do okay there, he's going to get stabbed to death. Yeah, he kills a couple, he gets stabbed to death. Cathedral of Rock, we're attacked by Slanesh. This is their scary stack attacking me in a cave. Yeah, I don't really want to fight this stack. It's very nasty. These have all got multiple experience stars as well now, these Chosen Warriors. Although, interestingly, if we look at their age, their max age is not that high, so they will die from Burden of Time eventually. Anyway, we lose the Cathedral of Rock. I guess the concern here is that the Slaneshi lords are going to turn into demon princes, and they actually could cause me a problem, and they could also spread some dominion, I think, so that could be annoying. But at the moment, they're just rampaging around taking provinces off me, and I don't really care because I'm kind of attempting to dominion kill Slanesh, obviously. Then we've got a battle at the Fortress of Slanesh, and this is a weird battle, so I will start off by explaining what happens. So to start off with, we've got Howl, which is cast by us, and my plan here was this little group of mages buff up Gorkzilla. This probably was a flawed plan, but I thought let's just go with it. They buff up themselves on Gorkzilla. Gorkzilla flies over and starts attacking things, and they just kind of keep themselves alive. It was basically the plan. This is not how this battle works out, and you will see why. So I'll just go slowly for a moment. So we've got Howl, Gift of Flight, Air Shield, etc. going up. But then they cast Summon Imps, We've got Thunder Ward and everything up, and Summon Earth Power, so Gorkzilla's well protected against shock, that's for sure. And they've got some okay protection. There's Howl, has made some wolves appear. But this Howl was in fact not cast by our mages, which our mages are still trying to cast it. Their monolith is much quicker to cast Howl. Their monolith has cast Howl, they've got Conjuration 5, and they've also cast Giant Air Elementals. Big problem this, and a bunch of imps. So we're in serious trouble at this point, but we'll see. So let's just go slow. So we've now got enemy wolves coming in, and they're going to start distracting my god. So we cast our Howl, so we could have a Howl versus Howl here, fight here, but our mages are not well protected at all. And in come the Giant Air Elementals, and in come the imps, and our mages are in a terrible position now. They're going to get destroyed. Our god's okay, he can fight all this stuff, but our mages are doomed. So let's just speed things up. Yep, all our mages are dead, and our Howl is gone, and then the enemy has now poured in, and they're starting to surround my god. We've got Winter Wolves coming in. They're going to freeze everything around them, which will be interesting. Our god is getting trampled a bit, but the trample's not really doing very much to him. He's basically okay. And once the air elementals take some hits, they can't electrocute him because he's got such high shock resistance. But he's now surrounded, and he is going to be surrounded for the foreseeable future while the enemy casts various things on him. We've got Curse going off. We've got they're going to be doing some mind burns. And the Howl's just going to keep going, so the enemy force is just going to keep massing up. Meanwhile, back here, they're all just sat here safe as houses. They've got their Mage Core and their Monolith, so it's looking really good for them. But Dominions doesn't quite work out that way when it's got a stalemate, so let's just speed ahead. So our god, in total stalemate, there's too many wolves and things appearing. He's lost his moss body, which is a bit annoying, and he has taken an affliction. He is cursed now, and he's going to end up taking quite a lot of afflictions. The first affliction is really bad, Mute. Halved magic skills. Oh dear. Not good at all. He takes a really hard hit there. I don't even know what that was from. But he is taking Mind Burns. He gets Fire Shield up, which is really important. It's going to kill the things off around him. I think the Leogryphs maybe hit him hard. And he just keeps killing things. So this keeps going along. Howl means more and more and more wolves are turning up. And slowly other things are going to get killed off. And their mages are going to fatigue out, but they're going to wake up every now and then and cast something. So every time they wake up, they'll cast something. And this just goes on. But they are casting Mind Burns in the midst of all this. There are Mind Burns going in. So he is occasionally failing a check and losing some life. He's lost an eye now as well, affliction-wise. Pretty bad. So this just carries on and carries on. And it's a really long video, really long battle, because he just reaches the end of the turn timer and has to leave. They're never good enough to rout him. He can't kill enough of them to rout the enemy. So what happens is, they keep fighting. He ends up routing. He routs with a bunch of afflictions in the end. They are stopping him from routing. So then after a while, the other side has to rout. This is how Dominions works. And a bunch of these mages just run away. And of course, they run away with nowhere to run to. In a fort battle, when they're being stormed, they die. So, we end up with I lose my mages, he loses a bunch of his mages to them routing, and my god takes a bunch of afflictions and has to run away. He does manage to get away because all of the wolves and things run out the way and he manages to leave. But I'm not going to show you that because it takes ages. So, what are the end results of that battle? I lose 3 Forest Goblin Great Shamans. That's not great, but it's just 3 castles worth of production. You know, it's a turn of that, and what, 600 gold is it? Something like that, a bit less. We lose a Savage Orc Great Shaman. That is 2 of our capital turns. That's pretty bad, and I was a bit foolish to lose that many things. Our god kills a bunch of stuff and takes a load of afflictions, and we'll look at his afflictions in a moment. But their stuff retreats as well. They lose both Forest Goblin Great Shamans, which is good because that's 2 Holy 2s gone. They lose a Marauder Shaman who runs away. They've only got 1 of those left. 2 of their Slaneshi Sorcerers, so half of their Sorcerers gone, and 1 of their Sorcerer Lords. And Sorcerer Lords are, of course, Holy 2 as well. So, and these Sorcerers are Holy 2. So they lost a bunch of their priests. This means we're in a better position in the preaching battle for sure. But yeah, other than that, they lose some Leogryphs, they lose Winter Wolves, whatever. It's very much like they kind of did okay there, they got away with it, but because they're in such a bad economic position, that result's not great for them. They lost half their mages there. So we've got events next. Forest of the Lost, Demons Manifested Turmoil +3, and their demons come and take that over. A bunch of Spine Devils kill loads of our Corpse Constructs. That's a bad matchup, Spine Devils and Corpse Constructs, as it turns out. Yeah, that's just a random thing killing a bunch of our corpse constructs, and we lose that province, but we'll go and get it back. There's 10 Spine Devils left. I'm not too worried about that. Well, 2 commanders do, so 12 of them. Esquania, Unrest, Gold, and True Shot Longbow. That's nice. I guess I'll send some with the True Shot Longbow into battles. Bonus Tribe, we get some Fire Gems. Lake of God, we get some province income. So pretty good overall, apart from losing that province. Unharmed Nagaron Fortification. Khorne is going to take that over, apparently. Relothia, we have started to destroy, but the walls are still up, so we can't immediately storm that. We'll probably get it next turn. Slaanesh we could storm again, but I don't actually plan to. I'm going to go for a Dominion kill because a monolith with supporting mages with Howl is extremely hard to get rid of. But if I do have to get rid of him, I am now forging a Smasher, so I can give something flying and a Smasher, and it can go and hit him with that. That may help. But yeah, very unpleasant. Here is our god with his afflictions. He's got 3. Blind, Mute, Lost an Eye. Lost an Eye is a weird one given that he's blind. I guess that's lost both eyes, that's supposed to be. It's a bit weird. Anyway, even though he is blind, it means his precision's terrible, but his attack and defense skill are still good because of his experience, stars, and chaos power. So as long as he's in turmoil, he can still do that fine. And he doesn't really need to be able to see if I switch him to an area effect weapon. But it's not ideal being mute, that's for sure. It would probably be good if Gorkzilla died at some point and we could bring him back with less afflictions and get the magic that he had, because I wanted him to cast some spells for us. You know, he had the earth magic, he had the fire magic to cast some things for us, and they're gone now. But while he's up, it's fine. He is still spreading Dominion, so that's his main job at the moment. He's going to go straight back onto Slaanesh's capital. We're still at Dominion 1 there, unfortunately, despite our preaching. We are moving some more priests and things in, and we're doing some more preaching, so hopefully we will pump that up. We've also got preaching going on over here, and we're going to launch an attack over here and take this fort over. And we're also going to move some things over here and preach here. I think we've got, a couple of Holy Twos being sent there, and we'll build a temple there so we can get rid of that. I think their dominion is just here, and maybe it's in one of these provinces, but I don't think so. This is not their dominion. This is the Dark Elves' dominion, so I'm less worried about that. Yeah, so that's basically what's going on. Is I'm kind of being boring and not doing another storm because I don't actually think that I would. If I sent all my troops and things in, I think they would just lose because the monolith would get surrounded by stuff that potentially couldn't hurt it. The Howl would really distract them constantly, and then he would be casting giant air elementals as well. So I think they would probably actually win that, and I'd lose a lot of stuff. So instead of doing that, I'm just gonna preach him out a bit more for now. So more preaching and sieging, and we're moving a portion of our forces over here. Relatively large number of them over there to go and siege out that province over there, and at least get control of it and preach it down, get rid of their dominion. Elsewhere, just continuing with infrastructure things, we're a bit cash strapped this turn. That is because of Burden of Time being up, but I do probably need some replacements. I'm gonna have Savage Orc Great Shamans because I lost one. I want to replace him, and then I'll just say build a troop with our leftover money. Yeah, so Khorne's going to come and take the Nagaron capital. I never really had if I dealt with Slaanesh quickly, I could have had a good shot of having that. But at the moment, in the interest of peace with Khorne for the moment, I'm going to say, yeah, you take that. They're not going to have any of this other stuff. Keep that under control, and I'm going to take all this. Yeah, these provinces have been sat there for too long. Where are they going? They maybe are going to the throne. They can't really siege it out as far as I know, so I'm not too worried about that. I imagine they'll actually just try and cause havoc. So they'll go for Dead Forest and try and maybe they'll go for my cap. They can go Dead Forest, Glade Woods, and then go onto my cap. That's what they did against the Dark Elves, so they got form for doing that. But I'm not terribly worried about them doing that. I just fine siege it as long as I've got troops in there that hold the walls up, which if they move closer, I'll just make a bunch of troops to hold the walls up. That's fine. We got any more research items or anything? We've got quite a lot of good equipment here that we could be putting on something. But yeah, not sure there's any great candidates for putting it on. I guess we could try and thug out one of our shamans to do something. I don't really want to thug out goblins. Orcs potentially. We could thug out one of these, like Morzog could be thugged out. Or Zogfang. Zogfang can cast, I believe, Cloud Trapeze, so maybe he would be the one to be thugged out. What have we got if we were thugging him out? I think we've got Mist Form. Mist Form is very important. He doesn't have Earth, so we would be looking to give him to base it on kind of Mistform and defense. Let's see what we could do with Zogfang if we were to thug him out. So we would give him. Oh, I don't have particularly good armor to go on him actually. I didn't realize. But he would have Dancing Shield. I don't have Messenger Boots either. This is a bit shoddy. How do we not have any spare Messenger Boots? Because I haven't forged any, is the answer. You idiot. Amulet of Anti-Magic is something that I've been wanting to have, so I'm forging one of those up. But yeah, let's forge some Messenger Boots. I'm doing a Smasher there. You're forging. Amulet of Anti-Magic's good, but I don't necessarily need it right now because I don't care if my god dies currently. So let's have a Kithronic Lion Pelt. I think that's a more useful bit of armor generally for making cheap thugs. And he can have Dancing Shield. He can have Messenger Boots will give him the reinvigoration. I could maybe put regen on him. He could have Storm Spool. Yeah, there's a few things. I could give him this just for now. So that I know that I'm going to be thugging him out in the future. There's a few things that I could do. But anyway, Zogfang could be a... Oh, he can cast regeneration on himself, can't he, with nature magic? So he can Mistform and regen, and Fire Shield as well. Anyway, I should start making these kind of thugs. I particularly like ones with 2 air because they can cloud trapeze, but turning him into a thug would be good. Definitely need some weapons. So we would maybe want to forge some of those. Little Git, you can forge. Can you make a Frostbrand for me, please? So we're just going to forge up some more equipment because I think making thugs is fun, and ones that cloud trapeze are very useful. And even if I screw it up, it's entertaining for the viewer. Not to say that that is what I should be doing. Probably you want to just be casting things with big spells. It's probably a better tactic than making thugs and stuff, but this is more orky and more interesting. Okay, I think that's it for this turn, so I will see you next turn. Oh, I forgot to mention, research-wise, haven't got Construction 6 level 6 yet, but I am on my way. It could be a couple turns and we'll have that, and then we need to work out what we're going to do next. There's a few different options. I think probably going into Alteration for Swarm, so let's tentatively put in Alteration level 4 as well. Okay, that's it for this turn. Welcome back. It's turn number 35. We have got a battle in Noria first. This is a magic phase battle. I'm guessing Call of the Wind. It is Call of the Wind. Against a tiny bit of province defense, but Call of the Winds really can lose very easily. So let's see. Yeah, Wolf Tribe. This is Wolf Tribe. Yeah, Wolf Tribe are capable of killing birdies. So they do it even though they get routed. We get to keep that one. More capturing. Longnose was the victim of assassination attempt. He is a Goblin Wolf Rider Scout, and so that is a waste of Shadowblade's talents, but he does it. A good thing to take out Shadowblade would just be to leave somebody there with the Amulet of Skeleton Making and just overwhelm him with skeletons. I think that would work given his current setup. Nashbite of the Forest Goblin Boss has been disappeared, which is fine. But previously they were getting all our great mages, and now we've flooded it with bosses and scouts and things, and that's stopping the Stuction being very good. And then we have a battle in Rame. This is a normal phase attack by Slaanesh on us. This is their big stack. A big stack of big boys. They need 70 XP. They've got a long way to go till they get promoted, so not doing any fighting. But here we've got some province defense on Rame. I think this is this was our fort, so they get to have better province defense here. That's really unfortunate. The orcs were on either side of him, or I could have killed the Chaos Spawn there. I do kill one of the Chaos Spawn over there. This one gets a bit chopped up. Anyway, they are not very likely to be able to take that, but we may have to make some stuff to stop them from storming it to keep the walls up. Battle in the Forest of the Lost. This is us attacking Spine Devils, I imagine? Yes. So we're just overwhelming them with lots of troops, and we've got chariots as well, which will trample them very easily. Oh, okay. Did a bit of damage and then routed. But then our troops go in. Spine Devils are actually really tough if you get enough of them together, and they do a lot of poison damage to stuff. So we lose some things. 4 Goblin Wolf Chariots a bit annoying, but never mind, we got the province back. Then we've got Dark Elves being attacked by Slaanesh over here. 1 Horsemaster against like no province defense. He may win. It would not shock me if the Horsemaster won this. Because he's just fighting some slaves. Yeah, there we go. Good work by Slaanesh. using what they have left to cause trouble to their former enemy, or their current enemy. Battle in Nagaron, this is Khorne has agreed to take over the siege, and of course they have sent in Skarbrand the Exiled One, an absolute beast, just terrifying, honestly. And yeah, he's going to sit on that siege. Hopefully they attempt to assassinate him with Shadowblade, that'd be funny. And our scout is killed by Skarbrand flapping over there. So we've lost the siege in Nagron, but we agreed to that because we've got bigger problems. And then we've got a battle, Khorne attacking independence in Ofalef. This is... Oh, Khorne is just poking to see this Belial province, see what it's like, I guess. And then they run away. Then we've got a battle in Florian. This is us taking the fort that Slaanesh had, so they're not going to have a fort under their control anymore once we take that. That's a simple one. And then Ireme, we are attacked by Nehekara, the Tomb Kings. So let's have a look at the composition of their army. So we're going to get destroyed here. We've just got some promised defense. Their army consists of some H3s. Mage-wise, we've got a few Death 3s. We've got High Priests. We've got Death 3s out there. We've got a Lich Acolyte. The Death 3s do not have any Death Gems. Now, they could have a scout with Death Gems alongside them, but it looks like they're not going to be casting Rigor Mortis or anything like that. And then the bulk of their army, they've got some Chariots, they've got some Shabti, not very many. The bulk of their army is made up of a massive number of these Sacreds, the Asp Archers. Their Bless is Morale, Air Shield, Shock Resistance, Fire Resistance, Defense Skill, Affliction Resistance, Reconstruction, and Combat Speed. Air Shield 40, Shock Resistance 5, Fire Resistance 10. That's the important stuff. Fire Resistance and Air Shield means Flaming Arrows are not good against these guys. Normally, Flaming Arrows would be good against them because of their bad protection. And no shield. I would just shoot archers and take them to pieces. But they've got Pierce Resistance. They've got Air Shield. We can still shoot them. It's probably still worth shooting them. But yeah, the Air Shield's going to make Flaming Arrows not very good against them, and the Fire Resistance as well. So interesting, their weapon, the Bow of Asaph, magic, relatively decent damage, strong poison. So anything that's getting shot up by them needs to have a lot of poison resistance. Otherwise it will be in trouble. Regen would also be very helpful there. And then the force at the front, we've got tons of Nehekharan Spearmen, and we've got some Tomb Guard. Now the Nehekharan Spearmen are magic resistance 12, so they can actually just be banished. Banish would work fine on them. They've got a Sepulchral Stalker in there too, but basically Spearmen and then this big block of archers. So what would be good against these? Something that's very, very resistant to being shot up by their arrows, so something with very good, air shield and so on. Some stuff with Banish to cast Banish on them. Air Elementals would be very good for just trampling all this fragile stuff, smashing them up. Chariots potentially good against them because they're using formation fighter troops that don't have very many hit points. Quite a few things that would work on them. Or just fight them with lots of stuff. But their archers are very good against us as Savage Orcs. We don't have the best protection. We'd want to get like Arrow Fend and things like that from any big battle we did with them. Then we have a battle in the Obsidian Waste. We attack with a bunch of chariots and some troops. And we take over from some Call of the Winds that had previously happened. So we just take that from them. Old Age is affecting our Golden Order adepts, I believe. And then we've got some events. Orc Boss is a big boss. Sodden Merc, we get some gold and a Barkskin Amulet, but a bit of unrest. And Noria, we get some gems. We've started to destroy the fort in Relothia, but the walls are too tough. And we're probably going to move away from that, as I will discuss in a moment. We're still breached on Slaanesh, and we breached Florian, so we will try a storm on Florian, although they may be very nasty to storm. We're under siege in Rame and our walls are damaged. They are capable of getting through the walls. They have enough stuff, but I can probably do something about that. Yeah, and then let's see what we're up to. So, first things first, over in Rame, we don't want the walls to go down. So I am just going to cast a bunch of kind of crappy things to keep the walls up. I might even throw in some Fire Drakes. They wouldn't be any good. They could help put the walls up, but they wouldn't be any good for anything else. Mindless units are good siegers and bad siege defenders, so we don't really want them. How many Horned Serpents would we get? We've got a lot of nature gems, so I can just throw out tons of these. I'm casting loads of Cluster of Forest Spiders. Well, I can't do that with my Shaman, my Orc Shaman. I could summon some Fire Ants, but they are mindless. And we don't have that many fire gems compared to nature gems. Let's just put in some horn serpents. So we've got some forest spider clusters and some horn serpents that are going up there, and that should be enough to stop them from breaking the walls down. The walls are not that damaged so far. They've done, a fifth the way there. And we are attacking them. They don't have any promise defense there, so we're attacking them there. In Florian, we're storming and preaching. I think their dominion is limited to this province. This province. It's now gone in their capital. Potentially it could spread to the Southern Merc, but likely our dominion will take over. This is not their dominion. So I think if I just preach them out of these two provinces, they die a dominion death, and we take them out that way. So I'm not really invested in storming the capital or anything like that. Gorkzilla, he would actually be a good counter to that army that's being sent against us, the Tomb King army. So what I'm going to do is give him some more poison resistance. So, do we have someone with a poison resistance ring here? We've got Astral Serpent, which gives more poison resistance. He's got... I feel sure that we had somebody with poison resistance. Maybe we put it away, though. Yeah, it doesn't look like we've actually got poison resistance available here for Gorkzilla, but what I will do is give him the Astral Serpent. So I'll move that to Slash Grub and move this to... What am I looking for? Bortuk. Then Slash Grub can move that to Gorkzilla. That gives him poison resistance of 10. Have we got anything else that gives poison resistance here? I don't think I do. None doesn't look like it, does it? Yeah, then he's just using sort of swiftness and whatnot and fire shield and just kind of tanking his way through them. He's immune to lots of stuff. He's got decent magic resistance. And I don't really care if Gorkzilla dies, because when he comes back, he'll hopefully have fewer afflictions. It would be nice. So I'm sending him into this province in case I get attacked there, and I'm moving my force to attack here. I don't know what the Tomb King army is going to do exactly. There's a few different places it may go for, but I suspect they're going to try and lock down Ralothia. And the reason for that might be that they just want Burden of Time to stay up, and by keeping one of these two provinces, whichever one's got the god in it, which is Ralothia in this case, by keeping those protected and attacking me, they can keep Burden of Time up, thinking that it's more useful for them, because it doesn't bother the Tomb Kings at all, I believe. Anyway, in New Spring, that's where our god is going. We're going to give him a script. We're going to go Iron Skin, Fire Shield. I believe I'm going to need Skeletal Body, because all their weapons are piercing weapons, so we want that against the arrows and things. Iron Skin, Fire Shield, Skeletal Body, and Summon Earth Power, and then fight whoever. Can we get one more buff on there? Anything useful? Poison resistance would be nice, but I don't seem to have that as an option. Nope. So the only thing I'm worried about with him is just getting incredibly poisoned. The other problem there is that this isn't in our Dominion. It might be in our Dominion next turn. I guess we'll see, but at the moment it is not in our Dominion. So it's not ideal for him to travel there, but that's life. Now, over here, my big force, I would like to fight the Tomb Kings, sort of, but this force isn't really equipped to deal with them. It's kind of a Flaming Arrows army and doesn't really have the troops to take them on. The Flaming Arrows is not going to be particularly successful against all those guys with fire resistance. So instead what we're going to do is going to move over here. It's a chance to knock over another Slaaneshi province. We're also moving a force up here to hit this, and we're moving a force here to hit this. So we're just going to be all over these provinces. We might bump into the Tomb Kings along the way, but we want all of the war to take place over here and not near our more useful and valuable provinces. These provinces don't tend to have very many sites in them. Because they were in a war early, they haven't really done very much site searching, so they're lower value provinces. Anyway, we'll fight over there. We're trying to retake that one. This province, we could send somebody, but quite well organised. I don't know that we would actually beat whatever province defence is there. What could we send? I also, because I'm planning on just killing them by Dominion pushing, I need to preach there with as many things as possible. And having 3 mages there preaching, they may have stuff inside preaching. Hopefully these ones preaching over here will knock this down to 0. I mean, that is the plan. We're still preaching here, but I think we can afford to move some more troops to here and here. Let's have a look. What can we move? I think that Slash Grub can move. So let's get Slash Grub, and we'll send him this direction. He actually could go to this. He could reach this province this turn. Why is that? Is there a connection? No, he just is fast. He can go through. Okay. Well, I mean, if he could go there, I could potentially take this by just casting air elementals. Something to think about. Anyway, I'm just going to move some more preachers and just preach these places. We've got more forging going on here. Owl Quills, Frost Brands, Shield of Valor. That's good against missile attacks, obviously. Very, very good against those. Elemental Armor is generally useful. Amulet of Anti-Magic, generally useful. We're just building stuff up to make thugs. And we've got the start of a thug here, Zogfang. So Zogfang, really what he needs is a shield. So Shield of Valor probably, and then maybe a bit of magic resistance. And he will be a perfectly serviceable thug. He can mist form. He can cast regeneration with some gems. He can cast a few things, so we'll just stick some extra bits on him so he can cast those. Maybe a fire gem so he can do an easier fire shield or something. So he's going to be fairly useful, I would say, in fighting the Tomb Kings potentially, or whoever else. I'm just going to move him in closer. This is something we can make as a bunch of thugs, these kind of shaped mages, like Zogfang there. Morzog could also be one. What could we equip him up with? We can give him Fireplate and a Dragon Helm, and we can give him not much else at the moment. So that's more of just a reminder that we can put some items on him, and we'll just keep him back until he's got some better stuff. Maybe I'll set him over here because he can help forge things and move him a bit closer to the action. We're not being attacked over here by the dwarfs, but I'm still building troops and I'm keeping an eye on them, and I've got lots of stuff over there. We're starting to see our mages suffering afflictions over here. You can see this one's mute. I'm moving him back out of the water because he can't really usefully do stuff there. This one is got a limp. So we're seeing that these Golden Orders are unfortunately suffering quite a bit. Never mind. Yeah, not that much I want to be doing with them. Research-wise, we are nearly there. Construction level 6. We're going to be doing a bunch of lightless lanterns. So I want to have fire forges over there as quickly as I can. So maybe Stabby Grot, if you stick that back in the lab and get your ass over there to where you'll be forging lightless lanterns. Have we got anyone else like that? Black Eye, let's take that off you and you can go over there. And then we want to distribute those out here. Let's have an owl quill on you. And Lil Git, you can have an owl quill. We did make a smasher to hit monoliths with, but it doesn't seem necessary now. But we could use it against the Tomb Kings to kill like a thug or something. Yeah, not a huge amount else going on. I'm going to give Slash Grub some nature gems since he's going out on his own. And maybe Crooked Git also could use some nature gems. Not nature gems, air gems. Talking nonsense. Just so that they've got them to cast air elementals and things. Maybe I do want. I don't know. I feel like I should hit that, but at the same time, I just really want to concentrate on dominioning them out. That's the whole plan, and deviating from the plan is often not a good idea. Anyway, so Gorkzilla's going to go down here and fight them if they happen to move into this province. If they move into this province, we'll have already moved over here. If they move over here, we'll have a fight. Fine. Such things happen. And we'll just have to kind of react to what they're doing, I think. But still got plenty of corpse constructs coming, got plenty of them down here patrolling, and we've got an okay blood income now. You can see the blood starting to rack up. We are forging sanguine dowsing rods, but we could also forge flesh eaters, which are nice to have, and we can forge Ring of the Warrior, good for a repel thug. What we really want to do is get lifelong protections going. Those are very good. I'm very, very fond of those indeed. And we could potentially get soul contracts going, but we need more blood magic. So how do we get our blood magic up to level 2? Can you? I'm just going to check in the inspector which boosters you can make in blood magic actually. So bear with me while I do that. I'm not going to pause the video, but it won't take me very long to check. Just going to look in items that take blood to make. So Armor of Souls is 5 blood, gives +1 blood. Bloodstone is 3 blood, 2 earth, gives +1 earth. That's very good. And Bloodthorn is the one-handed weapon. That's not the one I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of an anatheme, whatever it's called. Yeah, what is that? That dagger that gives you boosts your blood. This isn't exactly a thrilling video, but I think I need to look it up. Oh, it is the Bloodthorn. I'm talking nonsense. It's not anathema. Yeah, so the Bloodthorn is at 3 blood. There isn't anything at 2 blood, blood booster wise. And Brazen Vessel is at 5, and Armor of Souls is at 5. So we need to get to 3 blood. In order to empower Aoila, how much would that cost if we were empowering in blood? 30 blood slaves? Let's do it. Let's do it straight away. We'll get blood 2, we'll go for blood 3, and then once we've got that, we've got blood boosters and we can start doing all kinds of stuff. But having blood 2 is going to be super useful, so we'll just do an empowerment. Okay, I think that's basically everything. So you can see the plan is still just dom killing them. I can probably safely move back Slasher Summer as well, so I will do that. We'll have less preaching here, but we've still got plenty of things preaching there. And we just want to make sure we've got enough mages out there preaching that we can take over all of these various provinces. Let's move in some more people to disrupt seductions as well. I think the seduced things go inside the castle at this point. Maybe they're not even able to do that, I don't know. Anything we want to forge before next turn? We could always use more dragon helmets to get past seductions, but I guess that phase of the game is kind of ending now. Yeah, because Slaanesh, I hope, are not going to be a relevant factor for very long at all, particularly with us blasting all of these provinces away and potentially storming Florian. I guess we'll see about that storm. I'm not giving them any mage support at all, so they could be in for a rough night. I'm just pushing in a big load of stuff with archers and hoping for the best. All right, let's see how it goes next turn. Thanks for watching, and there'll be another turn or two in this video, I imagine, so see you then. Welcome back, it's turn number 36. We've completed construction level 6. The main thing we were after there was the lightless lanterns, but there are a few other nice things. We've got armor of knights and some stuff like that, which is good at construction 6. We've empowered Aoila in blood, so she's at blood 2 now. We're going to try and get up to blood 3, which I think is 45 blood slaves. Cast some coarse men, forest spiders, horned servants. This is to keep our walls up in the north. And we found a magic site in Baptizer. It was a submerged labyrinth. We can have a look at that in a bit. Some more blood slave captured. 16 plus 4, 20 blood slaves. Not bad. A battle in Florian. So this is Slaanesh attacking us in Florian. They're just sending out. This is a force that's storming their castle, and I guess they wanted to see what was outside, so they've just sent a goblin boss out, and he is going to get shredded, so let's ignore that. And then we've got a Bokte. We attacked the Dark Elves. We're just mopping up these provinces that we want to take control of. So it's just province defense. Should not be a challenge for our Orcs. Yep, we just overwhelm that province defense. In Offerlef, we see Khorne attacking. I think this is the bit that has the Demon Lord in it. Yeah, here we go. We've got Belial, the Lord of Corruption, with not very much guarding him. And then Khorne has sent. I think they're just summoning up some imps or something, maybe. And they've got a bunch of troops. Yeah, I think they're just doing summon imps to kill off Belial. Let's fast forward through this. Oh, look at that, living fire. Oh, they're doing Hellbind Heart. They're trying to get Belial on their side, take him over using Hellbind Heart. That's very smart, actually. But I think they maybe are failing. No, they're summoning imps. Yeah, they have not managed to Hellbind Heart him. But they have summoned up tons and tons of imps. Belial's not actually that tough. He's got very bad protection. He's not got anything. He's asleep, so he's just getting shredded here. Has he got some invulnerability on him? He does. He has invulnerability 25, so he takes a hit, but he hasn't got any way of regenerating, so he's just going to get slowly chopped up. And the imps are running away because he's got fear, I imagine. Yep, fear 10. But he is routed, so that is that. But nice attempt to Hellbind Heart him. That was an interesting thing for them to do. I tend to forget about Hellbind Heart, but it's a good spell. Dathan, we attack Slaanesh. Again, just mopping up provinces. Nothing but province defense and some birdies in this one. It's a straightforward win. There we go. Battling the Earthshell Mountains. This is our scout attacking, is it? No, this is our big force attacking some. I think they were moving away from the Tomb King's force, and we were just taking over a Slaaneshi province. So this is Wargrimdreg, I believe. So we take a few casualties, but that's fine. He's got a little bit of a lack of melee troops in Wargrimdreg. He needs some more troops. He's got quite a lot of archers. New Spring. This is the battle. So this is where I sent my Pretender God to. So we'll see how my Pretender God does and what they have sent. So let's have a look. So they've said their entire army. So we've got 3 Tomb Kings, a bunch of mages, tons and tons, over 100 Asp archers, like 100 melee troops as well. And we have got some province defense, my god, and some wolves. And I'm hoping that if all this province defense gets killed and these wolves get killed, it won't make our god rout. To remind you of our god's equipment, he's pretty messed up, but he's got a Sword of Swiftness, Vine Shield, Horned Helmet, Elemental Armor, Boots of the Messenger, Astral Serpent, Ring of Regeneration. The Astral Serpent's there to give him that poison resistance. But generally speaking, going to be quite hard for them to deal with if he doesn't run away because of the province defense dying, which he shouldn't. But we'll see. So they're casting Blessing, obviously. Raising some dead. They've got some chariots coming in the middle. All this stuff will get annihilated. Our god is scripted to cast Fire Shield, Iron Skin. Iron Skin's already up, very high protection. Skeletal Body is important because they've got piercing weapons. They're doing their chance of resilience and things. The arrows are doing nothing here against him. They're not have any effect on him at all. And our first targets come in. It's these chariots. The chariots are just going to roast themselves because we are talking about low hit points and they've got a hoof attack, so they just run straight into the fire shield. Sepulchral Stalker can hit pretty hard, but that's not going to last very long. How are you so poisoned? You've got 25 poison resistance and you're already poisoned. Oh, the Astral Serpent got him. We've got a Tomb King run in on us. Hopefully we get to kill that. He also has hoof attacks, 2 hooves in fact, so he's going to take a lot of fire damage, although he has fire resistance. So we're going to get surrounded now. We've got a regeneration to lead up. We've already taken another affliction. What is it? Weakened, lost our strength. We're going to take a lot of afflictions here no matter what, but I think we have a good chance of killing a lot of stuff. Oh, and we've been decayed. Look at that, God's decaying. Okay, let's fast forward for a bit, see what happens. So we're surrounded, the archers are going to come and pelt us now, but our resistances should keep them from killing us. And you can see stuff's just dying all around him from the fire shield, because they keep attacking and getting burned. Have we taken another affliction? Nope, not yet. Our regen is keeping us just ahead. We've got around 60 hit points. If I look every now and then, we've been knocked down, but then we've got it back. I think we picked up a chest wound, so we're going to fatigue out possibly now, despite all of our reinvigoration. But we're still killing stuff. They're casting all these like hordes of skeletons and stuff. That's not going to matter. None of that can hurt me. Lots of stuff's vine shielded. Taking a bit of damage, but he's just regenerating it. And because lots of them are vine shielded, they don't take that much damage each turn. And they're starting to run out of ammo now. Yep, running out of ammo. So now we've got a chance to kill them when they're in melee. They've got bronze daggers. So they're going to get absolutely destroyed if they get into melee with him. The fire shield will just kill them. Chance of healing going off. Lots of poison, but he can regenerate his way out of that. And the poison resistance kept it from being too bad. So now we're just watching the fire shield just wrecking stuff. Oh, we have lost our vine shield. It's just got smashed there. We must have just taken a hard hit that broke it from something. Probably from one of these Tomb Guard with their magic tomb glaives. Alright, it looks like we've killed some of the Tomb Kings. Maybe killed 2 of them and 1's left. And now we're getting to kill all of these archers because they're crowding around. So this has worked out already very well. We've killed a lot of Nehekar and stuff, and it's just going to keep going. 54 hit points. Very afflicted and still decaying, of course. We're going to be decaying the whole fight long. Our age has got, I think we were on about 2000 when the battle started, and we're up to 2211 already. Let's next through a few rounds. Just press the N key to skip through them. You can see he's losing tons of archers already. Everything else is kind of stuff. Hopefully we get one of these this Tomb King here. If he gets into close combat, we can get him too. Oh, another reflection. Never healing wound, crippled. Curse is really doing a number on him. He got that from the Slaaneshi capital. But he is killing a huge number of stuff. Archers dying all over the place, and these are not cheap units, really. These asp archers, I forget exactly how much they are, but we can see on the battle report at the end. So they've almost run out of troops, and we're down to the spawns, which are also just getting completely deleted by the fire shield. We've got a couple of Ashabti we could kill, and we've got some more expensive units, and the Tomb King I'd like to kill. Let's see if we can get them. So we're routed now, because of the turn timer, I think, and possibly because he's such a mess. We've killed the King, we've killed the Ashabti. That's it. We're now leaving. Nothing to stop us. Okay. Let's see, as Lucid always calls it, the Butcher's Ledger. Let's have a look. So we killed all 3 Tomb Kings, pretty much all the Asp Archers, 113 Ash Archers. We got the Ashabti, we got the Chariots, we got all of the melee troops, including 33 Tomb Guard, including a Sepulchral Stalker. We didn't lose our only country, we lose the province, of course. But I wouldn't particularly care about that. Our Onikunchi is extremely messed up, though. So the Asp Archers are 26 gold each, so that was very, very costly. Yeah, lots and lots, thousands of gold lost there. But of course, the Tomb Kings are big and powerful. They've got multiple thrones and they're pretty strong, so it's not like a very destructive blow to them. But it certainly puts a damper on them invading us, which is good. And our god's still alive. He did lose a Vine Shield, but I can replace that easily enough. All right, let's carry on. We've got Cathedral of Rock. This is our scout attacking in the cave, but they have a point of province defense, so that doesn't work. Yeah, there we go, didn't work. And then we've got Battle at the Fortress of Florian. This is us storming the fortress finally. Been looking forward to storming at least one of these fortresses. Basically nothing here. We've got a Orc Shaman who's going to cast Fire Elementals, presumably, and then we've got some summons that he's managed to throw up. But we will get through those fairly easily, and we're losing stuff to the Fire Elementals, but Fire Elementals, yeah, they've routed, so we don't have to deal with it. If the Fire Elementals kept going, we might have actually lost that. Fire Elementals are that good against this kind of troop that we're using. But oh, nice! Bog Drinker gets to kill the traitor himself. Well done, sir. Okay, we're on to the events. Cormark, we get a Forest Goblin boss has turned into a big boss, which is good. Glade Woods. Okay. Dead Forest, Water Gems and Earth Gems, always nice to have. Dead Forest, Thermal Unrest. So not great sites, special events there, but we've had some amazing ones recently. A worldwide event. It is the People's Deathmatch Arena, so no spellcasting allowed. You get a Slave Collar for free in one of your misc slots. So I believe you have to leave a misc slot empty for the Slave Collars to go into. Also killed a lot of stuff with our patrolling troops. This is just people looking at our throne, maybe? Where is this? Cormark, just all over the place. Mostly in Cormark. Where is Cormark? Yeah, they were checking out our throne over here. But we've got a patrolling force, so we were getting them all. Okay, Entrance to the Fortress of Ash, we're still doing our Dominion stuff. We're not trying to do that. Relothia's defending it, repairing it faster than we can do anything about. We're under siege in Rame. Our walls are damaged, but they're not too badly damaged. So let's have a quick look at Rame. We've got 184 out of 250 left, and we've just cast a bunch of spiders, which look like this. They're not very good siege strength wise, 0.2 siege defense, which is the same as Horned Serpents. So Horned Serpents are no better than spiders, so we should summon spiders, not Horned Serpents, that's for sure. But I am going to summon up a gigantic forest spider and some more clusters of forest spiders, just enough to delay them until we Dominion kill them. We're trying to get the Dominion kill. This Dominion has gone down. This used to be on 3, I think, and now it's on 1. So they are definitely doing some preaching or something over there, or their god is spreading Dominion. So we need to keep preaching that one. But we're also moving some more preachers over there to help with that. We're also preaching everywhere else we can. And I think this is the only other place they have Dominion, and we've now taken it. So I'm building a temple and doing preaching, and maybe next turn will Dominion kill them. We'll have to see. Elsewhere, over on Relothia, I moved my forces off, but I'm still sieging and they didn't break siege. I don't know how they got out with this army here. I don't know where this army was. I'm kind of confused. But they have an army here, so I guess they're going to attack Khorne or try and relieve Relothia. I'm not really sure. Um, Either way, Gorkzilla here has not got a shield. We could just give him another melee weapon. It's a bit of a shame he doesn't have a shield. I guess he doesn't really necessarily need one. It's just very good for him to have one because his Vine Shield broke. Have we got somebody who can make? You forge him a Vine Shield. Vine Shield is nature 2, isn't it? So the answer is no there. What other good shields could he have? He could have an Eye Shield, but I think we've got it on a unit somewhere. We want to get the forging discount on it. I guess Grab Truth is our forger if we have to have one. Because we're forging a water bracelet with Morzog. Okay, let's move this around. Let's have a water bracelet forged by you. Morzog can forge a Vine Shield because they're always just useful, and Grab Tooth you can stay on our research duties. There we go. That keeps things simple. Yeah, we're moving more priests out here, including this one. I thought there was a laboratory here, but it's just the temple icon, so I put Zogfang in the wrong place, but I want to have him out thugging, so I'm going to get him somewhere useful. But he can just go and preach, you know, and I've taken this fort over, so I've got a lab there for him. Still blood hunting, still casting corpse constructs, and we are forging a bunch of stuff. Lightless lanterns, you can see multiple lightless lanterns going up this turn, and that will give us, and a lightning rod because we've got a person here who's not using one. That'll give us a lot of extra research. We've got a Starshine Skull Cap that we're forging as well, which will give us more astral. We want to get that going. Yeah, and in the People's Arena, we are sending Bog Drinker, who just took over Florian. He's still got all these troops under his command. Oh no, I moved them out from under his command. But Bog Drinker, he's our man for the job. He's got the Astral Serpent, Elemental Armor, Dragon Helmet, Sword of Swiftness, Shield of Valor. So we're talking high protection against mundane, decent protection against other things, lots of elemental resistances, good defense skill for blocking things with shields or dodging things generally. Doesn't have to worry about encumbrance too much, probably. And he messes stuff up because he's got Death Poison hits and he's got 2 strong hits from the Sword of Swiftness. So, hopefully, Bog Drinker can do it. This isn't a good idea sending someone into the People's Arena like this, but it's always good watching for the people watching it. I really enjoy doing that, and I try to encourage people to send stuff to the arena, and I'm hoping that Bog Drinker is going to be able to win it. Come back with the Champion's Trident. Yeah, so elsewhere, preaching, trying to get the Dom kill there, and we are moving our forces on our western border to attack. You might expect us to move down here. That's a place that we could potentially move that the Tomb Kings might predict. They could also predict that we are going to move our forces into here because they're right next to it. They could also see this force and go, okay, the only place they can move is here because this is like a corridor, right? So they could go, okay, they're definitely going to move there, but they may not know that we've got this other force that's also moving there. We're going to consolidate here because I think we'll have a big fight there, basically. And I think we've got enough stuff there that we will win through... well, attack rear is going to be a significant part of it, actually. So we'll put Grimdreg in a position where he can get stuck in. Of course, we've got Flaming Arrows that we're going to be casting. We've got the Divine Blessing going up, and then we've hopefully got enough troops, you know, not a huge number, but enough troops to kind of carry the day and use our fire arrows to do the trick. So that one could go wrong, but at least we're consolidating our forces and kind of hitting pretty hard over there. Do we have anything else going on elsewhere? I'm moving in my god Gorkzilla over here because why not? There's a lot of stuff that could go wrong there, but I don't mind if he dies, and because he's already taken a chest wound, I've taken the Astral Serpent off him, and I've put the Crystal Heart into him to give him more reinvigoration. He's already got the chest wound, so that doesn't do him any harm. It's just a shame he doesn't have a shield, but I think there just isn't one kicking around. Yeah, I did have a look around, and I believe there is no shield kicking around for him because he lost his existing one. Annoyingly, Durgut has chosen this turn to go mad. I was going to have him forge the Moonvine bracelet straight away, but he doesn't get a chance to. But we are forging other boosters and things. Research-wise, speaking of the Moonvine Bracelet, we are going into Alteration because I want to cast Mother Oak. It's an obvious one for us to move up and cast. We get Swarm along the way. We get a few other nice things. Iron Warriors we can cast. We can also potentially cast Incinerate is a useful one to have. There's a couple of things in there. Bone Melter we can cast. It's not super great, but you can cast Bone Melter with some other things. But the main thing is just going up for Mother Oak, and Wooden Warriors is pretty decent too. Mainly on Orcs, not really on Savage Orcs because they've already got their invulnerability saves. Blood hunting continues, but we haven't quite got enough to do an Empower. Let me just check that the Empower. Oh no, I remember. It's 45 gems. To go from 2 to 3 is definitely 45 gems, the second empowerment there. So Oyola's going to be empowered again next turn. We've got some more Blood Slaves. That's basically everything. I'm hoping nobody else attacks me. If the Dwarfs or Khorne attack me, this would be, a moment where I'm kind of weak. Also, Bretonia's now gone AI, so the Ogres are going to mop that up. At least they're going to be busy with that, and maybe I'll talk to them about maybe attacking the Tomb Kings or something, because we do know in terms of Ascension points that the Tomb Kings are, I believe that's them. Yeah, the Tomb Kings are on 3, same as us, so that's something to look out for. But yeah, our focus remains as it has always been. Take over all this land. Obviously our income's not great because of burden of time, but eventually that will go down. And Dominion kill Slanesh so that I don't have to deal with the unpleasant stack over there or the unpleasant monolith in there. So yeah, that's the plan. Strategic Dominion killing. And that's all for this video. Like, subscribe, blah, 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 and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.